All too often, what people do with their ducks is they breast out the ducks. They'll even peel them, they won't even bother to pluck them, and then they throw the rest away. That's a gigantic waste of duck. If instead you leave the skin on, you take the time to pluck it, this fat on these breasts here are delicious. On the diver ducks and the sea ducks, not so much. I take the skin off of those. But on your puddlers, you want to make sure that you save these legs, these big fat mallard legs. You brown them and you braise them, and you get them until they almost fall off the bone. Then you throw them on the grill when you're cooking your other breasts, and people will take a bite and the bone comes out clean, and they will marvel at just how great your ducks taste. I've got a skillet here. The only duck that I cook whole or that I'll split in half will be a teal like this, because these teal legs are tiny, they're still edible. It's okay if I cook the whole thing medium rare, but if you take a whole duck and you cook it rare to medium rare in the breast, to me, the legs aren't edible. So cook your legs and thighs low and slow, make stock out of the bodies. Here's a favorite recipe of mine that I will use in this cast iron skillet. To keep the duck from curling up, the duck breast from curling up when it's in the skillet, you make a couple of little knife slices here. All right, I'll put a little seasoning on it. I'm gonna use the High Mountain venison rub here. Season both sides, skin side down. I want skin to be crispy, and that's gonna render some of that duck fat down there. Duck fat is good fat. Turn the heat down a little bit because I don't want to burn it. I just want to crisp it up. The recipe that I'm going to make is very, very simple. Before I get too far ahead though, there are some waterfowl critters that can use a little bit of extra help. First thing I do with all of my ducks and geese is I brine them. I use a commercial brine, I use High Mountain brine. You can use just salt water if you like. I'm going to give that a flip. Pan's a little hot. But these sous vide units over here, it's a controlled temperature cooking device. So what this does is this Weston sous vide will circulate the water at an exact temperature. I've taken these honker breasts, or this honker breast, season it, put a little rosemary in there, and if you've ever had honker breasts before, especially the big ones, you know they're not known for being tender. Let me show you what this looks like. I'm gonna cut it across the grain. Just tell me, does your honker, is it that tender? All I did, brine it, season it, 132, 134 degrees for about 4 hours. And then you take it out and you flash it in the skillet like that. And I'm telling you, it's just the most amazing thing. I gotta get this duck out of here so I don't overcook it. I'm gonna start making a sauce. This is a very, very simple sauce, starting with a little bit of onion, a little bit more olive oil. Rice vinegar is sour. I've got apricot preserves for sweetness. This is some ponzu. Now, ponzu, if you're not familiar with it, is a lower sodium citrus flavored soy sauce. This has less salt than the low sodium soy sauce, and it has a lot more flavor because it's got that citrus flavor in there. I've got some red, yellow, and orange bell pepper, green onions. I'm gonna put some whole garlic cloves in there. This is jalapeno. You can put wasabi, sriracha, whatever you want. I didn't happen to have any wasabi because I can't find out where Susie Jimenez put it. So we've got hot, sweet, sour, salty. This is a little pickled ginger, and I like to chop that up. Pickled ginger. I got a call from my son the other day. He said, "Dad, how do you cut a mango?" Mango, the seed runs flat, just like this. A couple different ways to do it. If you just start at the top, you can kind of feel your knife working around that seed. Trim these parts off if you're so inclined. All right, so I've got my duck. I think it's gonna be a little underdone. Not too bad, it's workable. The thing is, you wanna get the duck to about 130 to 135 degree internal temperature. The reason I went 132, 134 on the sous vide Canada goose breast is because it needs a little extra temp to break that thing down, and it sat in the water bath for 4 hours. But my sauce is done. Add the mango. So this is going to be a mango sweet and sour duck onto the plate. Goes all that mess. Duck, duck, duck on top. Again, let me show you how this is cooked. In the center. So that is a little on the rare side. See that fat there? As long as it's crispy on the outside, I'm good with that. I don't like rubbery fat. That's duck with a mango sweet and sour with a little jalapeno in there to just give it a little bit of, oh wait, and lime right on top. Lime is going to really waken up the flavors. It's like a natural MSG. You put a big squeeze of lime on there right on top and it brings out all the other flavors.